Oh, like,
You're gonna need to scoot in though. Go for it.
all right.
Hi guys.
Hello.
Hello everybody.
Thanks for joining. Happy Monday. Hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. Um, we have our lovely Factor 4 here
Let's
today.
do it.
Which was this?
I haven't talked about it in a long time. It's not our first.
It was not our first.
No,
What was
no.
our first?
The
Super
well, yes, the reds, the greens, the vitamin, multivitamin, the magnesium, and
Okay.
D. We're all in that.
Okay. Well, Factor 4 is one of our
Early launches.
original
Yeah.
launches, which I feel like we also we talk about it all the time, but we haven't really talked about it
We haven't done
by
a spotlight
itself
on it. Yeah, no, we
in a
haven't.
while. But we're not just here talking about Factor 4. Of course, we're going to highlight Factor 4.
Yeah.
But before we go into our topic, if you guys don't already, make sure you like and subscribe to our channel. It helps us help you. We love to bring you guys this content. We want you to be able to share this content, so you get to follow along. Leave us comments, leave us feedback, and most importantly, ask questions. Questions are how we all learn, how we all educate each other. And somebody might, just like in school, there's no dumb question, but you might be asking a question that somebody has and they don't want to ask. So ask questions and
Ask away.
yeah, and if they're, as always, if they're on the topic today, then we'll address it on the call. Okay, so what we're going to talk about today is omega balance or omega imbalance. And what really sparked me with wanting to really bring this to light, obviously we all know about, omegas, and we really hear most about omega 3s, but there's companies that test this omega balance, which is very important to know. But I also feel like there's a lack of education on a certain side of it. So that's what we're going to get into. But we know we talk about inflammation all the time. And the omega imbalance can be the hidden driver, or is often a hidden driver of inflammation.
And you're referring to imbalance as index? Like, are you calling that interchangeable? Because a lot of they test that they're going to make an index, right?
Yes. But when you test the balance, you're really testing the balance of omega 6 to omega 3. And that's what I wanted to dive into a little bit today. And if you've never heard about omega 6, this is a good one.
Yeah.
Because again, this is always educational purposes. That is our goal, to teach you guys. So let's just talk about inflammation.
Yeah, sure.
We know it's chronic inflammation is this low grade chronic inflammation is a very negative thing. It's recognized as the major underlying factor in modern health issues. It is often termed as like what your silent killer. I mean, because you're not necessarily feeling this like low grade chronic inflammation. And now, what inflammation is good?
The innate type, the body that it's in response to a very acute aggravator, something like a cut, a scrape, whatever, a broken bone, a coronavirus, a flu virus, those types of things, and where the immune system gets the opportunity to recognize,
Right.
neutralize, and then go back to.
And that inflammation is important.
Yeah, it's
right?
very important. Obviously, I mean that's the essence of life. To be honest, I mean without that, you wouldn't really be around very long.
Right. Think of it as like our body's natural repair system.
Yeah.
Right. So that's what it's designed to do. But when we have inflammation, when inflammation remains elevated long term, that's when we see these negative health conditions resulting from it, such as like cardiovascular disease, joint health, metabolic health, all these things.
A lot of the autoimmune
aging,
disorders.
Aging. It's a big driver of aging, which obviously is all that. But I feel like, and maybe again, if you don't know about the omega 6, but one of the most overlooked contributors to chronic inflammation today is an imbalance between our omega 3 and our omega 6 fatty acids. And this is really, honestly, the driver of that is our modern diet. Right. So, and that's what we're going to educate a little bit on today. So we want to talk about what omega fatty acids are.
Yeah, right. The polyunsaturated fatty acids. I mean, they're the beneficial fats, right? They're very different than your saturated or your trans fats too. So you have a lot of benefits of fatty acids because they make up the cellular wall. There's a lot of communication that the fatty acids provide. And obviously that's the whole point. You want to ensure the integrity of the cell wall. You want to have good intracellular communication, and fatty acids how that works.
Right. And they're essential.
Essential, yeah.
Right. So it
Yeah.
means we have to get
You have to get
our
them from our diet,
right?
correct?
And we always say, like, diet, food, and then supplements are a supplement to a healthy diet, right? To help us
Yep.
top it off,
Right.
get more of what we need.
Most people hear omega-3 fatty acids, and there's really two primarily ones that are really referencing, which is EPA and DHA. So those are the two that you most often look for on a label. And I can't believe it, but some companies have fish oil and they don't even tell you a good job of exactly how much EPA and DHA in there. They kind of give you a total omega, which could be omega-3, 6, 9. It could be. So it's not very helpful to have that information. You want to really focus on those two, the EPA and the DHA.
Right. Definitely.
Yeah.
So when we're talking about omegas 2, again, we have our two main types: is your omega-3 fatty acids, which are associated with healthy inflammatory response,
Yep.
right? So your which are very high in anchovies, sardines.
Yeah, you typically.
Salmon.
Yeah, and again, you typically always want those smaller fish though that are lower on the trophic level because they haven't. Well, as you go through the different trophic levels, right? To older, larger, bigger, mature fish, the levels of mercury and some of the heavy metals as well as the
Right.
PCBs, which are polychlorinated biphenyls, those things accumulate in tissue in those larger, bigger fish, the mackerel, swordfish, tuna.
Are we here?
Ah,
Okay, I think we're back.
let's see. Eric or Kelly, can somebody let us know if you can see us and hear us?
Yeah. Power, but we did. Okay, so getting back into it, we just,
So the little fish, we were on
yeah.
the little
Oh yeah,
fish.
there
The
you go.
little fish is what you want because you don't have them high, it hasn't accumulated a lot of metal or PCBs or other contaminants. So that's a pretty big factor. That's why we chose the anchovy.
Yeah,
And it
in factor four.
and the factor for you.
So those are again talking about omega threes. Then our omega six, yes, they are essential, but when consumed in excess, they promote inflammatory signaling, right? So it's all about balance, right? But the problem is with our modern diet, we are at an imbalance, big time. But again, both are necessary: omega six, omega three, and yeah. Let's talk about the modern omega imbalance. So, just to give you a little bit of what I'm talking about when I'm talking about this balance and imbalance, um, historically we used to consume omega 6 and omega 3 in a very balanced ratio, like 1 to 1, 2 to 1. But now the average Western diet actually ranges from 15 to 1, even as high as 25 to 1 in favor of omega 6, right? Too much omega 6. And again, this comes from our diet. This shift creates a biological environment that favors inflammation. So we talk so much about inflammation, but I feel like nobody is really pushing hard on educating on the omega 6. So where is omega 6 coming from in our modern diet? Right?
Yeah.
Big ones are industrial seed oils.
Yeah.
So we do know, we hear this all the time. Don't have the seed oils, don't have the seed oils. I'm talking soybean, corn, sunflower, safflower, canola. I mean, it's just crazy to think that there was a day where we were like consuming canola oil like this with our cooking oil.
Right.
People still do that, guys. Pay attention. And the biggest thing here too is if you're not doing this in your own home and you're eating out a lot, if you grab food on the go, if you tend to dine out at restaurants often, you cannot control these oils. And I can guarantee you these are the oils they're cooking in because to cook in the alternative is expensive.
And they would let you know that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
What is it? Canola, safflower, sunflower. What are some of the other
Soybean,
seeds?
corn,
Soybean, corn. You already read those. Yeah.
Yep. So they're in packaged foods. Read your ingredients, read everything, right? This is another reason why we're supposed to be avoiding these packaged foods. Restaurant food, salad dressings. Be careful there.
Yeah.
Be very, very careful. Even like a quality brand. I mean, I'll be like, oh, this one looks great. Oh, it's organic. And I look and like it's canola oil. Like, no, you want to have your salad dressings with extra virgin olive oil, avocado oil, you're not really going to necessarily see coconut oil really because it's hard to stabilize, but coconut oil is great. And these are also in sauces too. So again, dressing sauces, read your stuff. But again, we're going out to eat. Our food is going to be cooked in these inflammatory oils, these high omega-6 oils, the dressings that we use, the sauces that we use, which are always very big at restaurants. They're all going to have this in there. So this just leads to it. These are obviously our convenient foods. But one thing that I'm not sure if many people know about, but is our animal products. Conventional animal products, meaning not organic, okay, conventional. They are raised on, and organic ones can be raised on this too. So you also have to be careful about what your food is being fed. So animals raised on grain-heavy diets accumulate higher levels of omega-6 in their diet. And this is actually significantly higher, right? So when they're testing some of these conventional chicken, the omega-6 is so high. And you think about, I feel like chicken is the most common meat consumed, right? We know it's lean. It tends to be liked by all or most, right? So we're eating a lot of chicken. And if you're not paying attention to how your chicken was raised, how your chicken was fed, you are just consuming a heavy load of omega-6s, therefore throwing off your balance of your omega-3 to omega-6 ratio and causing inflammation. And you think you're doing yourself good because I'm eating this nice lean cut chicken breast, right? Scary. So it's not just chicken, conventionally raised pork, farm animal products that are fed soy or corn. So I printed out this little thing. Why chicken today contains more omega-6 than it did 50 years ago. An important point that we don't realize is this composition has changed. Decades ago, chickens were raised outdoors and they were consuming a more natural diet. some insects, plants, just certain natural foods. So therefore, we contained a balanced these chickens, or I'm just going to say chicken, contained a more balance of omega-6 and omega-3. So when we were eating it, we truly were doing ourselves, justice. We were doing good for ourselves. But today, our conventional chickens are raised on grain-based feed that is largely made up of corn and soy. They are very high in omega-6 fatty acids. So think about, it's like you are what you're.
Yeah, what you eat.
Right. You are what you eat eats.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
What you eat eats. Right.
Yes. So now like our diets. Oh yeah. So I was saying that the animals are now eating the corn and the soy, and then we're consuming the chickens that are high in the omega-6. Therefore, we're having an imbalance in our omega ratio. So it's a big shift, and it doesn't mean avoid chicken entirely. I'm not saying like just stop eating this stuff, but it helps explain why our omega-6 intake has increased dramatically, and it also helps you make wiser decisions when you're looking at something organic versus conventional, or a lot of times things will say how something is raised or fed, right? You see like raised without antibiotics. Find packages that talk about how it's fed. You'll see this a lot on eggs too, right? Am I dead?
Mm-mm.
No? Okay, this goes for eggs as well, right? So you will see they label this more. These egg cartons, these companies are being very smart, and they're labeling things now so we can see how our chickens that laid these eggs are actually fed. And if you're living somewhere where you have your own chickens, make sure you're feeding them right. Don't just go buy the feed that's the corn and the soy and to feed your chickens, thinking you're doing great because you're raising your own, which is a wonderful thing. Feed them right. Therefore, you're getting all the good stuff.
Is organic the answer to that? Like, how do you get the store-bought chicken that has a better index?
Yes. Well, organic isn't always the answer because they can still be fed. They can still be fed organic feed. So again, that's why you just have to read everything. And when I talk about know your farmer.
Yeah, local. Know your farmer.
Know your farmer is a very big deal. If you're able to source locally from a farm, from green markets, talk to them. How are your chickens fed? How is this, It's important to know because again, we think, we're trying to do so good for ourselves and we're actually causing harm. So many companies out there, like I said, are doing this omega balance testing. And where I saw an issue was where these companies are testing and they're showing the imbalance that you have a very high omega-6 and 2 ratio to omega-3. Not necessarily that your omega-3 is low, but your omega-6 is so high that it's making your ratio very ugly. So then they're saying, now take more omega-3, take this one, take that. And you don't necessarily, if you're optimized with your omega-3, which you can get tested, if you're optimized by simply taking,
two to 6 of those a day,
right? 2 to 6 factor 4 daily. We both take 4 each daily. But if you're optimized there, then you're what you would need to do is pay attention to your diet to bring that omega-6 down so you have a beautiful ratio.
That's
right. So it's a very smart thing for these companies to be doing because they're selling you more. But I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, your ratio is off. You need to take 10 of these a day.
Right.
No. Just watch your omega-6. Let's bring it down and keep your omega-3 optimized.
Right.
Yeah. So that was really, that's really wanted to push on today. And it's just omega, okay. You're supporting your inflammatory response. So omega balance is just one piece to managing inflammation, right? It's not the only factor, but you've heard that. If you've been following us, you hear us talk about inflammation all the time. And inflammation is not just about omega balance. It's an important part of it, but it's not just it. So we also, making sure we're optimized in our micronutrients, making sure we live a healthy lifestyle, we're eating healthy, we're moving our body, all the jazz, all the lifestyle stuff to help keep us, our inflammation down.
Absolutely.
And then let's go talk about our knight in shining armor here. I feel like it's always a top seller.
Sorry guys, I got contacts in and I can't stop blinking.
Yeah.
It's driving me nuts.
Well, this has been actually a very
day
fun.
3, these contacts. I don't know how you guys do it.
It's been a very comical thing trying to help him get
Unbelievable.
used to contacts and help him put them in. So
All right, what were we saying?
Okay, just keep blinking.
Yes.
No, our knight in shining armor, factor 4. So let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Because obviously,
Yeah,
you're
600
big
milligrams of the omega-3s per soft gel. So serving size will be 2 a day.
minimum.
Yeah, a minimum to get that 1.2 or 1,200 milligrams, right? That's where your inflammatory markers can start to move. You can see your C-reactive protein. You can see some of the interleukins. These are the things that you can measure in the blood, in the serum, to monitor your basically your inflammatory, markers.
Right.
And they can move the needle. Omega-3 fatty acids will help actually do that. And if you need to help with your triglycerides, some of the cholesterol, the fat in your blood, then you would need to be at a higher dose, like 3,000 to 4,000 milligrams a day, which would be basically 6.
Right. And so, we always say,
soft
like, if you have high triglycerides, like, you need to jump on the higher end. If you are
Correct.
lots of inflammation going on, stick to the higher end. Doesn't mean you need to stay there, but let's work to bring the inflammation down, kind of thing.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Okay. Not just an omega supplement, right? It's
No,
called factor
no.
4 for a
Yeah,
reason.
four things, yeah, of course. And then we,
Turmeric?
of course, have the turmeric, which is curcumin, so curcuminoid. It's an extract, 150 milligrams. Added the biopyrine, which is the black pepper, to increase the absorption, because historically, curcumin does not have much bioavailability. So we were trying to enhance that by up to 200%, some studies show, using the biopyrine. That's pretty cool. And the turmeric is great because it's an antioxidant. It's amazing for, that's the antioxidant capacity, but there's a lot of things, really, truly. It's been used as an adaptogenic kind of rhizome. It's a root kind of rhizome that you can grow.
And you have specific on here ratio.
Yeah, that's the standardization.
Okay,
that's
so
the
10 to 1.
curcuminoid, 10 to 1.
Yeah.
That's a standardized extract. Yep.
Which is important.
Yeah, of course, always. Yeah, so you know exactly how much you're getting of that.
Right.
Active constituent.
It's funny. We don't talk about the black pepper, I feel like, enough, because we just say factor 4 and we only list the 4 ingredients. But black pepper is important, and it's on here. It's important.
Helps with it. And then garlic is it's been studied. It's got a lot of studies. Dietary, though, in the culinary world, we don't quite get to the levels of garlic that you would like to see. So again, using an extract, you can achieve that at 50 milligrams per soft gel, and it's good. It's good because it also acts as an antioxidant, but has a lot of beneficial properties for everything from gut to blood pressure and heart.
Cardiovascular health, inflammatory balance. Yeah, good stuff. And like, our garlic is great. Cook with it, eat it, consume it. But like you said, we just don't tend to get enough of it.
Another beneficial compound that we have in here is the coenzyme Q10. Sorry, running low on battery. Man, what a mess today. Power battery. Coenzyme Q10, big cofactor in energy metabolism, so within the mitochondria. Very prevalent in heart tissue, known as a very powerful antioxidant, and very powerful compound. Should also be part of anybody that's trying to, take care of their cardiovascular health as well.
Right.
So.
I mean, it's an amazing combination. It really is potent.
Yeah.
And why is this combination so important? The inflammation is influenced by multiple biological pathways, and this addresses a lot of it, right? So again, we're talking about cardiovascular, inflammatory, cellular energy. Like, it addresses it all.
Of course.
So yeah. If you don't take it, please start.
Yeah, the idea of the antioxidant too is to help with some of those. Again, it comes back to that inflammatory cascade that gets started. Or the insult is typically a free radical, right? It's some type of contaminant or some type of exposure to something that causes the body to sort of respond and create a free radical. So antioxidants are the opposite; they neutralize those. So that's part of the strategy, right?
Yes, and when someone's asking about, we talk about fight inflammation. It's cellular inflammation. Yeah, it's inflammation that's happening in our body for sure. So when we're talking about this, let's just do. I don't want the computer to shut off. So when we're thinking about omega balance and inflammation, you have to remember omega-3 and omega-6 are both essential. Need to get them from our diet, but modern diet, we are getting way too much omega-6. So you got to make sure you're taking your omega-3, but then on the other end, you need to make sure you're watching your diet, or watching what you consume to make sure your omega-6 is not out of control.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's not eliminating. It's not necessarily eliminating things. It's just making smarter choices.
Yeah, and it's also not trying to sell you and tell you to take a whole bunch more omega-3, like you said, too.
Yeah.
Which is good advice,
Yeah, and like I said, it's very smart of these companies, but that's not what Live Good is here about, right? And I want to provide you the education.
We might be able to provide you guys with the omega index test too, so we can be able to help you with that. But for right now, again, just focus on the lifestyle measures. and you should be just fine.
Right. Did you happen to look through any of these? We had any questions?
Not really,
I'm
because
just
we
gonna
lost
breeze
power,
through.
and
We
then by the time I
did.
got back up and running.
How do you find the chicken that has the better diet? We did answer that. So organic is better. It's not always the answer, but you're
Local farmers that you can actually ask questions is going to be a big one.
and you're looking for the feed, right? What it's
What
fed.
type of feed, exactly.
So you want to avoid the corn and soy. The chickens being fed corn and soy, which is obviously the most common conventional feed because it's cheap.
I'd love to hear from some people out here that actually have their own meat birds, where they feed them.
Yeah. Okay.
I think we're about to lose power on the computer.
What's the best oil to take? Like I said, you focus on olive oil, avocado oil, coconut oil. Those really are your powerhouse ones. Yeah, but thank you guys. I hope this, what? Oh, sorry. I hope this taught you guys something. I hope that my goal with these topics is always to, of course, we want to highlight our products and how they can help with things, but also provide the education on something again. So we just wanted to not introduce, but talk about our factor 4, because again, we haven't really just talked about this baby alone in a long time. And then give it a little bit of a twist to educate you on the omega-6 and watching your diet.
I learned something.
Yeah. But take your factor 4, eat your anchovies, sardines, cold salmon.
For sure.
And watch the omega-6 in your foods and your oils and your chicken.
Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
All right. Bye, guys.
All right. Later.